And I say this, I'm Tim Walberg, and this is where I stand. I stand for our founding principles, belief in God, our Declaration of Independence and Constitution. I stand for freedom, the freedom to start a business, to choose your doctor, what you drive, what you eat, even if you have salt in it, or meat in this state, to carry a gun, to teach and raise your own children. And I don't necessarily say it in that order, unless your kids are really tough, and to live your own life. I stand for personal responsibility. Let's encourage good behavior, common sense behavior, and discourage bad behavior. I stand for limited government, which includes limited regulation, limited spending, limited taxing, and limited borrowing from China or otherwise. I stand for life and all other American traditional values. And I commit that to you. Not like some who run for office, and you got to run sometime, I guess. But in this day and age, do you want to take a chance on a pig and a poke? Or do you want to take that pig out of, well, maybe that's a wrong illustration. You want to take that bovine steer out of the poke, out of the pen, walking around the ring, check it out. You can do that with me. Because I've stood for these things during my tenure in the state legislature. I stood for those same things in the private sector 8 years after I left the legislature. I stood for it when I was in Congress, as you know, and that's why they targeted me, #1 in the United States. That's why Michael Moore and George Soros and John Stryker and others spent huge, huge funds to defeat me. We know the battle, and no one else can prove that with a proven record. So I took a little time there. Was there one more question?
I think you wouldn't have lost it if there wasn't so much Bush hatred, but God bless you on your campaign. And I heard that the Republican Party was putting more money on one of your opponents. And do you have anything to say about that?
No, the Republican Party is staying out of this race till after the primary. And so at least that's not happening. I mean, we have some that would desire to move toward the center. And I'm saying Republicans can't do that again. We can't do that. You know, it was tough carrying George W. Bush and the perception of his overspending and letting the government increase in size. It was tough carrying John McCain, a true American war hero. But a guy who comes to Michigan and says, get over it, manufacturing is not going to come back in Michigan. Who says? And then walks out of the state. It was tough, even though I did 10,000 votes better than John McCain in this district. It's tough carrying that. But that was then. This is now. And I'm delighted to be in this race again for freedom. You'll have the choice to make in August, and hopefully in November as well. And Mark Schauer, if he were to be asked tonight, which candidate do you not want to run against if you have a choice in November? It'd be me. Because he can't talk about perception, someone who just moves in the district to run for the seat. He can't talk about many things that he can bring up, that he doesn't have to wrestle now with his record. But with Walberg, it's a mirror opposite image. On cap and trade, Dumb or Dumber tax. It's a mirror opposite on the health care plan. I offer a patient-centered, free market approach with no mandates, no taxes, and more choice. It's a complete opposite on the issue of the stimulus bill, which I opposed the bailout. Remember that, went against my president and voted no on the bailout. Mark Schauer votes yes on the stimulus bill. That stimulates only government. Oh, you'll see some stimulus dollars coming out around election times. On little projects here and there. But don't be fooled by that. That's government. So the issues are clear. And then when we get down to issues of life, the traditional values, Mark Schauer does not want me in the race. So, well, thank you. I'll stay around outside here. We do have to go.